Alright, welcome back. This week, we're going to jump right on this. We're going to do some painting on the inside. We're going to throw an extra set of seats I got that match the front, throw some carpet in it, and a bunch of other junk that we'll save to the end.
It's raining up here in the Pacific Northwest. What better time to get soaking wet scrubbing a shelf? So I'm going to put that on fast forward. My dad doesn't know I'm doing this. And we got a fun colored stain that he also doesn't know about. So I'll stain it tomorrow while he's at work, and he'll be none the wiser. And if he doesn't like it, he can fix it himself. There's not a graceful way to get in here while the tail is closed in the back. But it's done.
Alright, I bet you guys will never guess what color. This is Mary. She picked this. And it is... What is that, mint? Is that blue?
Yeah, turquoise. Maybe it says it on there.
What the heck color is that?
Vintage aqua.
Vintage aqua. Alright, I guess it goes with your seafoam greens and your aquamarines. So as I think you saw from the introduction, we had some other seats. What do you call that, Mary? When I just say I need this thing and the universe brings it to me, what did you call that?
Manifesting.
Manifesting. It's a fancy word for me. But Mary's the one who actually said, Dad, we should get another set of seats and put them in the back here. And it wasn't probably 3 days later, a guy I know, because he says, hey, I got a Subaru. You need any parts off of it? And I said, well, let me come look. And it's the exact same set of seats. The first set I bought at a junkyard, and the second set a guy gave me, because that car was going to the junkyard. So I thought that was pretty cool. After we get this in, I think we're going to let this dry tonight. View the carpet. I got some indoor-outdoor carpets. I didn't bring it out, but it's gray. And then we'll mount the other seats eventually, whether we get them in. We're eager to drive it, so whether we get them in or whether we get it going, I think it's going to be, well, we're going to do our best. If you've watched up to this point, you've seen a fuel system problems. What else have we got going on? A little more painting, stuff like that.
I don't know. I haven't started putting it together yet, so it's a mystery to me, too.
Anyways, just a side note, the last video last week, we had over 1,000 views on that video, which is super awesome for us. It's the best week we ever had so far. We don't know if it's us or the world was bored, but hey, thanks a lot for everybody who was watching. It's really neat. The YouTube people, they send you a little analytics that tell you who's what time, what people are watching. And for you guys out there, we appreciate it. For you women that are watching this, send your ideas to Mariana. She'll love to, what do we got? The email is justenoughgarage.com. No, is it Gmail?
It's a Gmail.
Gmail. justenoughgarage@gmail.
Yep, periods in between, just enough.
Anyways,
then garage at.
If you got some ideas for this Suburban, get interactive with us. Show us what you're thinking, because we are not opposed to it, but we're small time right now. So if you got any ideas that are, affordable, or it would be neat if, otherwise we're going to get it going the way we can get it going. And then it's a platform to build on. You think I should do inside there too?
No, I think just the fronts is pretty cool.
Okay, you want me to do this one though?
Yeah.
This video series on the Suburban, it's not a low buck, or it's not an internet cheap. It's not designed for any of that, because like I said earlier on, this is just the things I do. This is my life. I'm doing these anyways. The kids had the idea of filming it and putting it on there, and I think that's super awesome. But what it is what can I do? And that's the attitude of Just Enough Garage. It's just enough time, patience, experience, know-how. And in this case, well, we can make this nicer by a piece of $24 carpet. We can make the inside nicer by, what'd you pay, 11, 12 bucks for that can?
Mm-hmm.
And the point is it will clean it up. It'll make it look better. Instead of a trashy old truck, it'll be now a classic that may, I think we're going to need to primer these, or we can paint them just flat black. You're not married to it, huh?
No.
Yeah, it was a cute little table here. And the guy had a little storage space. He was, anyways, that's the idea behind the Just Enough Garage is we, I was saying I still work a full-time job, and Mary has some time to do the filming right now, so we're making it happen. But I said to her, well, the second you quit doing the videos, I'm done. I'm not computer savvy. I couldn't make it come together. Do you give that another coat, you think, or do you like it like that? I think it's still drying it up.
Yeah, it's still sucking it up. It's real dry. It sucked up a lot of the water, so it's a good thing I let it dry for as long as I did.
Yeah.
Also by necessity. There's other things to do. This is when we have time.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't really do anything this summer until the last few weekends, and so there's stuff that you guys may or may not see on film that was just our lives, but we'll show you parts of it, and we've got different things coming up. We got lots of ideas, and we're starting to catch fire right now, right? We're starting to get some people that are consistent return business, so to speak, and we're getting membership growing, and I appreciate that for you guys that are newly subscribed. We're doing our best to be entertaining, but sometimes we're just like everybody else. We are lost. We don't know what we're doing. Hey, Rolly, what you doing? You coming up? You want to come up?
I don't know if he can jump that one on his own.
So we're going to start caulking the floor seams, try to weatherproof it before we do any sort of, and I got this roof flashing tar stuff, and I we were talking about tools earlier in the video on this series. We're like, why is everything junk? And it's like, I gotta go get a knife and do that right, because that's gonna dog me the whole time. But it's just like, I like to make a nice tip like that so that it caulk out. Oh shoot, this thing doesn't have its piece of wire. It's a wire. Anyways, this stuff is going to get everywhere. I'm doing this midweek after work. I'm hoping it's going to do what I need it to do so that it can dry up, because we're hoping this week. Oh, that's a bigger hole than it needs to be. I'm going to have to come back and put some more metal in there. We'll get the easy stuff first. This is going to help keep the carpet down, Now, I don't know if this is the right stuff or not for the job. I just know it works. I've been putting floors in cars for a couple of years, And when I was a kid, my dad used to use the bucket of tar. And that worked. Well, there's a big hole. We kind of dab and squeeze and dab and squeeze, and that is a big Chevy hole there. Oh, look, the plastic tip went in. Now you see it, now you don't. If it doesn't dry completely by the weekend, that's okay with me. Like I said, it'll help hold the carpet down. Yeah, we'll have to come back and fit some metal in some of this stuff. What do we got over here? Oh yeah, I haven't put the gas pedal in yet. There's a chance I might have to change the clutch, so I'll be doing this again and taking it all out. But
I was gonna say, well, are we gonna need to take out the transmission for what, the 5th time?
Well, I think I can pull the tower and turn it, and it'll come out, I think. I don't know. There was 2 floors that were offered in these trucks. This is a low floor because it was a 3-speed, but if you had the truck 4-speed, that piece was bolted in, right? And that was pretty handy for. So if you ever want to convert one of these to a 5-speed, just get the 4-speed model, or that floor piece if you can find it, and convert it, because then the floor hump is a lot higher. But it's not as conducive to the 5-speed, ironically. So having the lower floor is the better choice for what I've done with it now, except for when you go to change the transmission.
So this one in it now is a 3-speed?
No, this is the 5-speed I put in it.
I was gonna say this lies if it is.
No, it was originally the 3-speed. But it's been changed by me. Funny story on that 5-speed transmission is that I paid $100 for a truck once, and because it had the 5-speed in it. I had no plans for it. That was 6 years ago.
Was that white one that we tore up?
It smelled like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that old guy,
I was in middle school. That was probably 7 years ago.
Yeah, anyways, the guy had quit driving it because it had a bad engine or something, and it was a yard cleaning. And I salvaged it just because I could scrap the body for about what I paid for it. That's a big gap. Let's see if we can cover it. Oh, yeah. Shoot, that's some good. Yeah, I think that's about all I can cover there. Let me come around your side. Don't step in any of my goo. Boy. Yeah, this is a mess. Yeah. Anyways, the green metal came off of a hood of a Subaru car I'd scrapped once. And metal's metal, right? I could have bought the floor pans, but the rockers are shot. It's just, where do you stop? You know, this is one of these trucks where I never intend to, road course it or nothing. I mean, that's the fun thing about these trucks and these cars, is that you don't have to put a lot of money into them to have fun, Now, would this be restored? It would be awesome, right? Well, go to Arizona or California or somewhere, or Texas, and buy one of these trucks and then do the restoration. Don't get it from the Pacific Northwest and I think it's not going to have problems.
Or the Rust Belt.
Yeah, I feel worse for those guys because this is 16 years old, but at least I got something here. And half of its life, it honestly sat in the field. It was really a shame. If it had been undercover or been lifted up on blocks or something, it probably would have been.
Yeah, instead of in 18 inches of mud.
Yeah, it just settled into the ground over the years. Oh, I'm out of goo, Mary.
Oh, good news. I got another tube for you.
I don't want it yet. I'm going to put some metal in here. These few patches, and then... Well, anyways, you get the idea what I'm doing. I got to get some tin snips and cut some metal now. And
You're going to do what?
And then goo.
The Goo Goo Dolls?
Yeah, that's a good band.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is the carpet we chose. We've actually had it for a little bit. I get all motivated by all this stuff, and then like, when do I have time for it? So how wide was it? 6 feet, and this Suburban.
You said 6 by 12, and we have 2 of them, guys. They're 6 by 8, because that's the best we could do at the time.
So upcoming events we got planned. RS Capri video. You guys may or may not have heard I was going to take it on a big trip. I'm still planning that. In fact, I got some new tires on the way. Those BF Goodrich radio TAs, man, they are worth their money. These are not cracked. They have low miles, but they've sat since 1995-ish. I've got about half wore out. Anyways, fabulous tires, but I'm not putting those back on because they have gone up in price, and I'm trying to do it on a budget. Anyway, so we're planning to take that trip, the car on a trip here still in the month of September, about 400 miles round trip, I think is where we're going. That's Jenny and myself. And then we're going to continue on the Suburban. Next time, I keep promising going for a ride, and I'm sorry, but I just can't go until I feel like I'm ready, you know, and that means fix some of the stuff in the dash, make sure it'll start inside.
Means having a fuel system that works in an ignition.
System. You know, I finished the brakes and stuff off camera and tires and all long before I started YouTube, which was March or April when I did that. Anyways, I'm going to finish this nice. So when I'm cruising around, there's nothing worse than pulling into some place and somebody says, "Oh, nice truck." And then they start looking at it and going, you could proudly say, "We're done." And then they could say, "Oh, I like it. It's nice." Anyways, that's where I'm hoping to get to. Thanks for watching. I hope it's not rambling. Thanks for paying attention to the carpet. Hey, if you guys are a younger person, an older person, and you're not sure if you can do this, hey, you know what? Invest $100 into your rig and see how far it goes. Think about the things that bug you, and then make a schedule. Mary's been very helpful. This YouTube's been very helpful for me. We have a list inside. Someday we'll show you on all the cars. I'm watching the fellow on YouTube. He says he keeps in his iPhone all the things he wants to do with the car, and he just works through his list as his money allows, as his time allows. And, you know, I think the point has been made on these vehicles. If you don't use them somehow, somewhere, then they don't have no value. So make sure you guys, if you have something in your shop, hey, you know what? Put it in the comments. Tell us about your project. Let us know what you're working on. I've found that this is a great group of people that know things and they can share with those things. And anyways, thanks for watching and hope to see you next time. Okay, I think these are the tools we're going to need. I think in the last video we showed you the inside of the neck. So let me get you positioned here. There's a couple of screws that hold that on, then there's just one deal, and there's a strap. You can see underneath that the gas tank has been bashed at some point. It's got a cutout here for a tire, which is no longer in use because of the way the trailer hitch is mounted. But let's go ahead and see if we can get those to loosen up. Potentially the last guy who took this off would have been somebody at the factory. How would you like that job at the factory all day long? All you do is put hose clamps on gas tanks. Yeah. I met a guy one time who worked at the Ford plant in Ontario back in the 90s. They built LTDs and Crown Victorias. Oh, that one's broke. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Started to go. Instead of breaking that, I'm going to try to on and off it a few times with some lube. And maybe I'll get lucky and it won't snap off on me. Oh, it feels heavy. Wow. I'm gonna have to get that right to the edge. You guys gotta move. I don't really want it to come off all the way. I wanted to be able to unhook it. Feels like I need to go get my jack. Put you on hold. I got it real close though. You can see that. And then I need to wiggle this free. But if that little piece of rubber breaks, it may not be the end of the world. Okay. As you can see, I got a piece of wood, a jack, some vice grips to hold this square length of this erector set nut thing on the back. Looks like I've got another hose over there to take off anyways. Get this one loosened up so we can. It's gonna take a little while with the screwdrivers. I said earlier, sometimes the impact guns, they have a tendency to screw things up. And I'm not particularly concerned about reusing this, but if I don't have to wreck it, I should be able to put it back in service. Always these have a square nut on the back that's folded into the clamp, and if you over tighten them or whatever, that little securing lug gets broken off. This is a little tool that you could put in there, and it helps release the rubber from the bond. You gotta remember, this has been on there a long time. Okay, it moves. And then I got another one on this side. That's the vent, right? So when you're filling your gas tank, it won't bubble out on you because there'll be an air vent going back up to the fill. We'll get that one off. And hopefully we'll be able to take the sending unit out, see what's going on in the top of this. And if it's empty, great, we can vacuum the rust out, clean it, whatever. If it's not empty, we'll be able to get the liquid out. And then there's a rubber hose on top that connects this to the steel line on the side. It'll be a good time to replace that rubber. And then it'd be also a good time to use compressed air to blow through the line up to the front. I'm going to end up running an electric pump, so I have to make a mount back here because the engine I have doesn't have the rod that comes off the cam into the... Yeah, the fuel pump's easy to get, but it's that rod there, I couldn't seem to locate one. And the engine came without it. So I know there's probably been a million of them thrown in the dump over the last bazillion years, but so I'll just run a little clickety clack. It's not the best, but Someday I'll stumble on the little rod and I can always put the original fuel pump back on it. Yeah, that one's moving too. Well, let's see what happens. Of course, that's in the way. Oh yeah, I can hear liquid in there. Looks like it's coming off. Yeah. Ha, beauty, eh? Check it out. There it's separated. There it's separated. This guy's got to get unhooked here. There we go. That one stretched about as tight as the guy could get away with. Well, I might have to do some cutting, and I don't like doing that. But I might have to because I don't know how you would get up on top of there. And the rubber hose nobody cares about. Nobody's in love with a rubber hose. I'm going to replace that anyways. That wire is already stretched tight. I'm not even close to getting it down yet. It's about half full as it turns out. So I don't know if you guys want to see, you can see it's getting pretty dark in there, but see that wire is stretched tight. I might just cut it, and then I can always make a little harness that snaps together. And we got left some rubber hose. Alright. Smell the rat poop under here. I have washed this truck a bunch of times. All right, you guys are gonna have to move. Okay. I made it. Got something in there. That looks pretty clean.
So how's the old gas tank?
Well, you're standing in front of the camera. Other than that, doing fine. Come and look. I got about almost 9 gallons out of it. I'll get the other light. Nothing. Hold that light right there, so I can do the camera work. All right, there you go. You can see that it's not rusty. It's got a little bit of a weird, that orange in there, I have to get the rest of that out. But on the sidewalls and such, I don't know if you can see it still looks good. It's a good tank. I'm going to use it for sure. Let's clean up the mess. I'll pressure wash the outside. There's a dent in the bottom I'm going to hammer out. I'll leave that thing out in the sun to evaporate out, and then we'll try to look at it again when it's drier. right. Looks pretty good, other than the time that Bo and Luke Duke took it off-roading. There's a little bash right here. You can see that big dent. I don't know, I'll try to put a board in through the top, tap it out. It might come, but at this point I don't want to risk damaging the tank because it's in such good shape for the shape it's in. There's just a little bit of fuel left in it I couldn't get out. I'll get the bucket out here and probably turn it upside down, go in the house and let it drip. Anyways, I think that's it on the gas tank. Okay, well, you can see we've just set the Suburban down. There was very little gas in that tank. You guys saw the nastiness of the gas come out. And now you see it's dripping. That's the old adage, you go to stir it up or disturb it and it hasn't leaked, and now it is. So we're struggling here to get this thing going. We'll definitely have it going by the next video. Either way, I'm going to have to get some patch put in there. If you know a good kind that you would recommend, put it in the comments. Okay, so the Suburban is what it is. We're hoping to get it running next time, get it driving. However, we look forward to a couple things coming up. Mary's putting together a motorhome race. The video, we've got all that shot. You'll be surprised with the winner. And also my RS Capri, you guys seen in the previous videos. If not, go back and look at it. I'm ready to take it on a trip. It'll be coming up in the next week or two, and then we should be able to take this Suburban out for a drive. Thanks for watching.